You know, I like it because I don't have to pay to come to these concerts. Because, you know, if these guys are playing within, 50, 100 miles of me and I've got an off night, I'll come and see either one of them, you know? It's the truth.
It's true.
We got a couple more songs for you. Krista mentioned that, she mentioned a beautiful song that she wrote in the Netherlands. And I think that all three of us feel very blessed that we get to go over and carry our music and our stories and our songs to other parts of the world. And we've all been traveling over to Europe the last several years. And Joe and I actually lead a group to Ireland. We lead group trips to Ireland, and some of you in this room have actually been on such a trip. And
they're the ones with the very full beer glasses,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I'm sorry, you're with the empty ones.
But we go over, we take about 20 people, and we have a grand time. And I first went over, Jan and I went over 2 years ago. And we were staying for 3 days in the village of Skibbereen in County Cork. And Skibbereen is the epicenter of the great famine that happened in the mid-1840s. And we were walking through this museum in Skibbereen. And as we were moving from room to room, I heard the tour guide, the leader, a woman say, I heard 3 words she said as she walked into the next room. She said, "The hungry grass." And my ears perked up. The hungry grass. What a beautifully poetic phrase. And I had to find out what it meant. And when I caught up with her, she told me that when a person died during the famine, the place that they fell to the earth where they died, the people called that spot of ground the hungry grass. And I knew that was a song. There's a song in there. I couldn't come up with it. Sometimes we have to wrestle with the song, and it took a year. And we went back, and the next year I heard another story in the same village. Thousands of people died in this village. We went and we visited the cemetery, and there's a mass graveyard there. It's 1.25 acres, and they buried at least 6,000 people from that community in that graveyard. And they were dying so quickly they had to lay them literally on top of each other, sprinkled just 1 inch of dirt and more bodies. And I heard a story about a 3-year-old boy named Tom Guerin. And Tom Guerin died in the middle of the famine, and they loaded him on the dead truck with other bodies. And they laid him down in the ground and scattered some earth over them. And the men working in the graveyard shift were tamping the bodies down. And they all of a sudden heard a sigh. It was a 3-year-old boy. He was alive. And they pulled him from the earth, and he lived to be an old, old man, Tom Guerin. And he became a poet, and he would walk from town to town and village to village, and he'd announce himself, "I'm Tom Guerin! I'm the genius, risen from the dead!" And the men who worked in the graveyard shift, tamping those graves down, had broken both of his knees when he was a little boy. That's how they heard the sigh. And as an adult, he said, "I walk with one leg pointing east and one leg pointing west." The story of Tom Guerin now enabled me to finish that song. And so this is called The Hungry Grass, and it does have a chorus that some of you know in here. And I want you to sing, and the rest of you, I think, can pick it up. So, a man stepped up, said, "I'd like to sing." He closed his eyes, and his voice did ring. His 2 short canes became his wings, and he soared above old Skibbereen. What can't be seen lies beneath the ground. The sorrows lost cannot be found. Take a short rest before you pass, and may your tears fall on the hungry grass. May your tears fall on the hungry grass. with the land, and a million more left Ireland. The famine stole, then stole again. Ancestors sailed on the crying wind. What can be seen? What can be seen lies beneath the ground. The sorrows lost cannot be found. Take a short rest before you pass. May your tears fall on the hungry grass. May your tears fall on the hungry grass. What can be seen lies beneath the ground. The sorrows lost cannot be found. Take a short rest before you pass, and may your tears fall on the hungry grass. And may your tears fall on the hungry grass.
Mr. Tim Grimm. Joe Kurtzton.